This is one of the avocado trees here at the farm. So I know a little bit about avocados. It's the end of the season. We weren't able to harvest commercially, so we've just been picking them here and there. And I'm going to go into some methods of preserving them. Stay tuned. These are some avocados that G pulled from the trees. And I'm just waiting for them to get a little ripe. See, some of them are huge. These are Haas avocados. And they're, like I said, huge. I just hope that's not all just seed. And we're going to be preserving these babies. Hey my friend, Sylvie Curry, Lady of Q, and I'm in my kitchen. Today I'm going to be doing some avocado preserving. That meaning different ways of taking a whole lot of avocados and making them available for the whole year. I have probably about, I'm going to say there's at least 50 avocados in this basket. And I'm going to be going through a number of ways of preserving them. When you're trying to decide how you want to preserve the avocados, you have to think about how you're going to use them. If you're going to be using them mainly in just smoothies or making guacamole, then you may want to mash them. If you want to use them as slices in salads or sandwiches, then you may want to, say, freeze them sliced. Or if you want chunks because you want a chunky type guacamole or you want to make a avocado type salsa, then chunk them. Freezing being the primary way of doing them. You can also pickle avocados and you can also ferment them. As I mentioned, my primary way of doing it is to freeze them. When I freeze them, I'll do it either sometimes with lemon juice in it or sometimes without. Leaving the seed in it does not do any good. That seed is not going to prevent that avocado from turning brown. What prevents an avocado from turning brown is to take away the oxygen or the air from it so that it can't oxidize. So you can think in theory if someone says that leaving the seed in it prevented it from turning brown, it's probably only the area under the seed which was protected from the oxygen. Vacuum sealing, I find, is probably the primary way that you can preserve avocados and get the most air out of them. And so that's what I'm going to be using here today. I've seen people who've used our avocados and tried to preserve them by putting them in plastic containers with saran wrap on the top of the avocado and then with the lid on it. It does hinder it from turning brown some, but eventually you're going to still get some brown edges on it. So I go with the freezing and vacuum sealing. I'm going to be doing that now. Let's start on this. I've gone through my avocados and I've selected some that I feel are ready to process. So I'll take the knife and I'll cut around the long edges all around. Then we take the avocado and we just sort of ring it like that, and we have our two sides. This one is a nice avocado. It may be good for slices or chunks. I take my knife and I sort of slash it in that shell. Sometimes it comes out pretty easy, sometimes it doesn't. That one was pretty easy. So to get nice avocado slices, then you just take your knife and go through the avocado, something like that. And some of these avocados have been on the trees so long that their roots are starting to try to grow. So I'm trying to take that out of there. Here we go. Then once you've done that, you can just take your spoon, go into the side of the avocado, and just scoop it out. And then you'll have your avocado slices. Now, in order to freeze the avocado slices, what you'll need to do is to take them individually and put them on a sheet pan with parchment paper, and then partially freeze them and then put them in the bag, and that way they won't stick together. Let me pull this one out, and then I'll get my pan out. So I've got my first batch sliced up, and I'm going to put those in the freezer and let them go for about an hour. They'll be frozen, then I can put them in the vacuum bags and seal them up. Now I've got some avocados that are a little bit more ripened, and I'm going to actually mash these and put them in my bowl. And just a matter of cutting it in half, making the little cuts, and then taking a spoon and spooning it out. And I like to try to get the green part that's on the skin of the avocado, because that helps in making the avocado more green. So once again, I just make slits rather. And then when I put them in the bowl, they're easier to chunk up. And first I try to mush them with, say, like a spoon, because I don't always want it to be mashed. I may want it to be chunky. And I think I gotta go for chunky with this batch, because that'll look a little bit more firm than mushy. In filling my bags, what I'll do also, in order to protect the opening to the bag so that it doesn't get the avocado on it and doesn't seal appropriately, I'll just sort of turn it over like that. Then I can take my avocado mixture and just fill the bag. It's easier if I just let it hold up itself. And how much I put in there is based upon the size of the bag. And what I think I might want to use it for. Then I'll still take paper towel, go along the top of the bag, just to make sure that this is cleaner, or clean as I want it to be. Then it's also important to, say, try to get the avocados down all the way in the bag where there may be air pockets, because when you go to vacuum seal it, it may not bring up those air pockets the way that you want it to. I'm going to do a couple more bags. I have here some avocados that I've just cut in half. And I put a little bit of lemon juice in there to keep it from turning brown, because I know when I vacuum seal it, I may not be able to get all the air out of this section. And I've got the other bags of the chunks that I've done, and as I mentioned before, try to squish it so you get a lot of the air out of there, because the vacuum sealer may not pull it out. So let's turn this baby on. And get this sealed. The seal looks good. Let's do another one. And then we'll do the halved avocados. And this would be a portion that you could use to make, maybe to fill the avocado, or if you're going to do something like a smoothie and you're going to put it in a blender, it would chunk it up for you for one serving. This is a package that I did about a week ago, so it's been frozen for about a week, and it's still looking pretty good. I'm also going to be freezing some whole avocados. Everything there still intact. And I did it before, and I don't remember how they came out, but I don't remember that there was a problem. So we'll just go in and do this as a sample. There we go. These are my avocado slices that I put in the freezer rather. They've been in there for about an hour, so I'm going to quickly put them in. See, they're easy now to handle, and they'll, by being frozen, it'll prevent them from sticking to each other in the bag. So just fill it up, and we'll vacuum seal this bag. Here we have it, avocado slices, frozen and then put in the bag, and then we're going to vacuum seal it and put it back in the freezer. This is what they look like, vacuum sealed avocado slices. Thank you very much for watching my video. I'm hoping that some of the things that I've done today may be helpful to you in your avocado quest, because I know a lot of people buy avocados in bags that have more than they can eat by the time they ripen. But you don't have to throw those away. You can preserve them in a number of different ways. And this just happens to be one that I do, freezing avocados.